This show is part of the RetroZap.com podcast network.
This is what you can look forward to on our Valentine episode 110 of Skywalking Through Neverland.
Percussion, strings, winds, words.
I truly, deeply love you. I love you.
I love you.
I know.
Eva? Wally?
Rapunzel?
Eugene?
Did I ever tell you I've got a thing for brunettes?
I happen to like nice men.
I like the sound of that.
Go on and kiss it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Hello, Skywalkers.
Listen.
I only hope that we never lose sight of one thing, that it was all started by a mouse.
You are skywalking through Neverland.
Hey, Skywalkers! Happy Valentine's Day! We promise not to lay the schmaltz on too thick, all right?
Who's promised that?
Apparently nobody. I just don't want to scare them away.
Okay.
Some people don't like the schmaltz.
But we're a couple.
That's right, so prepare to be schmaltz-ed. That's a word, yes it is. Hey, you Skywalkers, thank you once again for coming back to
Skywalking Through Neverland.
And welcome to the new Skywalkers out there who are just now joining us at RetroZap.com. And of course, welcome back to all the vintage Skywalkers to our family-friendly Star Wars Disney podcast that brings you entertaining stories from creators and the fans.
I like how we named them vintage Skywalkers.
Yeah, I think we tried classic. No one really cared for that. Vintage,
no,
people
old,
liked. Oh, no.
Yeah,
no, come
old
on.
is not good.
No, not at all. Not at all.
The new Skywalkers, the old Skywalker. No.
Vintage that's in right now. That's chic.
Okay.
This is Richard, a vintage Star Wars fan myself. And everyone, please say hello to my Valentine sweetie wife, Sarah.
Hello, that's me. Yay! We're here for another episode, another week, and more Star Wars and Disney fun. And Valentine fun.
More Valentine fun coming our way.
And, so we want to welcome all you Skywalkers, of course, and thank you, everyone, for supporting Skywalking Through Neverland throughout social media. So if you're listening now, you're a Skywalker. And if you tweet at us, at SkywalkingPod, you are a tweetwalker. And we love that when you tweet at us during the show. Many of you do. And we've created our own little community on Twitter. And I just love that.
They've been really supporting us on Facebook because our likes keep jumping up.
That too.
We are now just
less than 100 away.
Less than 100 away.
From 5,000 likes on
80,
Facebook.
80 away from 5,000. So
yeah.
By next week, come on, get 80 of your friends, everybody. You can do it.
That's right. Invite friends to like the page. That's the best way.
Now, we are recording this from Long Beach, California on February the 9th, 2016.
Which means we are making our Valentine's Day plans. Now, for Valentine's Day, what did we decide to do?
We're going to go see The Force Awakens.
Woohoo!
The perfect Valentine's couple movie.
That's right. I love it.
Now, if anyone out there in the Southern California area know where we can still see it in 4D, let us know because LA Live is no longer showing it in 4D.
No.
We've seen it in IMAX, IMAX 3D, IMAX Ultra 3D with caffeine, and 2D. I think we even saw one version that was in 1D.
Whoa, when did we do that? In our sleep?
Yeah, just play along.
Okay.
All right, now we just need to see it in 4D. So if anyone out there, we did try Googling it, but couldn't find anything. But that doesn't mean anything.
We might have missed our chance.
No, don't say that.
No, okay, I won't. Okay.
Now, speaking of Valentine's, we got a great Valentine episode coming up for you guys. We are going to be talking with Dave Tavers about his new Disney dating website, mousemingle.com. Now, this is a site that's already blowing up on the internet for all you singles out there looking for your perfect Disney match.
Yeah, we thought it was the perfect time to talk with him because it's our Valentine episode. So what better way? Mouse Mingle.
Yeah, and this site really focuses on everyone in the whole world. You don't need to be living by a Disney park where you can meet someone at Disney and hook up. Well, not hook up, but
Yes.
meet up.
Yes.
But people,
Ride a dark ride.
He's
Give a little kiss. Make out session. Okay.
Disney's got cameras everywhere.
It's
they
true.
see everything.
It's true. It's true.
So it's a great site, even if you're just looking for a friend.
Yeah.
Great site.
You can get a park pal, but you'll hear more on that later. So also on this episode, we are going to speak with longtime Skywalkers Michael and Michelle, who incidentally are the parents of Chickafant.
And what is a Chickafant? You will soon find out.
Well, they just went on the latest Disney cruise, and you may think, oh, Disney cruise, okay, we've heard of these. Well, this wasn't any Disney cruise. This was the cruise that featured Star Wars Day at Sea.
Right on.
So we had to hear all about that.
Nice.
And we also have shout outs and the Skywalker of the week.
And of course, we have things we want to share. But before we share news about our big upcoming episode, let's quickly count down the days until some really big things that are coming our way.
Cliff's Notes.
Cliff Note Countdown.
Cliff's Notes. Cliff's Notes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Cliff's Notes.
Now, this list is counting down from today, February the 9th. So what is first up on the docket?
It's my birthday.
Oh, no, there's something before your birthday.
Okay, you're right. It's Zootopia.
Good evening, Zootopia.
Which, if you are Team Hoojib, you are very excited about Zootopia because it features a little bunny rabbit and a fox. So that's cool. So that's coming out on
The perfect birthday present for you.
I know. I'm excited. So that's coming out March 4th, which is 24 days away.
Good. A first 2016 film to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
Next up is Run Disney's Dark Side Challenge Marathon at Walt Disney World. Now, we just did the Light Side Challenge. Now we're going to do the Dark Side Challenge. And if you're planning on being there, we'll plan on being there April 14th. That is the day of the 5K marathon. And then it goes through the 17th where we finish up with the half marathon.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be a lot of fun. Already planning a meetup, what we said on that Friday, which is the 15th.
Well, I believe it was the Sunday.
Yes.
Let's just say that.
Okay. We're still working things out.
Yes. And that is 65 days away. So coming right up. We from counting down to The Force Awakens, 65 days is nothing.
Yeah, come on. All right, right after that, right around the corner is Captain America Civil War, which comes out May 6th. That's going to start the whole summer movie season.
Yep, that's in 87 days.
Are we going to count Batman versus Superman? No.
No, I mean, I want to see it.
Yeah.
But I'm just not as excited about it.
It doesn't make the list.
I'm not as excited about it because the last Superman movie was so dull and it's not Superman if it's not.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
That's why it doesn't make the list.
And rant.
All right.
Well, let's jump ahead to December 16th, 2016. When we get a new Star Wars movie, Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
This is what they're calling it now. Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
How interesting.
Not Star Wars Rogue One. I like that. It's different. It's new.
Okay. Yep.
And this is just a mere 311 days. And I say just a mere 311 days because the next thing is coming up. Well, more than double.
More than double? What do you mean?
More than double the days.
Oh, the days away. Okay,
Yeah.
yes. Now that Star Wars Episode 8 has been pushed back.
Oh, boo! Boo!
December 15th, 2017.
Oh, stop with the Decembers.
Oh, sad. And that's 675 days
Ooh, that
away.
That one hurts.
You know what we should add to this list is Finding Dory, which comes out sometime this year. I believe it's June. But,
Okay.
But Tweetwalkers, if you want to let us know when that comes out, tweet at us at SkywalkingPod.
Or anything else we should add to the list.
Yeah, definitely. So what's next on your list after December 15th, 2017?
Then comes the Young Han Solo movie. Now, a friend of mine, his name is Ashwin, he's been training some Australian actors.
Really?
For the audition process because they're looking all over the world and apparently they picked out some Australian actors and he teaches them to use an American accent.
Now, is Ashwin trying out himself? I guess he can't really.
No, he's,
he doesn't look anything like
he's the wrong skin color.
Yeah.
He's an Indian from Australia.
Yeah. Now, I for a young Han Solo movie, for me, I can only get excited about it if I like the actor that they pick. If I don't like the actor that they pick, I don't know. I'm going to be kind of trepidatious.
Well, that's why they're doing such a massive auditioning search.
Yeah.
Ashwin said that at last count, they were looking at 5,000 people.
Wow.
They've got to make sure they get this one, right? Because if they don't...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, remember what happened to 50 Shades of Grey?
What?
They didn't get that casting right, and the fans
That's
just
right.
went ballistic.
Yeah, and they had to change it.
Yeah, because what was that, Charlie...
yeah.
Something like that. He just said, I can't take the pressure.
Yeah, that was sad, though, because I really liked him.
Imagine the pressure on this actor.
Yeah.
It says young Han Solo movie, but as far as I know, it takes place only a couple of years before A New Hope.
Okay.
So we're talking like 30.
Yeah, I don't know, but I almost hope it's an unknown.
Oh, it has to be. It has to be an unknown.
Yeah.
It cannot be.
I don't want anyone that has a previous
track record.
Yeah. Or
that's what worked with Star Wars because we
persona.
didn't know these people.
Right.
Tweet walkers, who do you want to see as young Han Solo? Tweet at us.
At Skywalking Pod.
All right. Then coming up after that, just 1 day short of a year, May 24th, 2019, Star Wars Episode 9.
1 day short of a year after 2018.
After young Han Solo movie.
Okay.
We have 1 day less of a year before Star Wars Episode 9.
Okay, but let's cut to the chase. That's actually 1,200 days away from now.
You can't even fathom that.
Come on.
Yeah, that's not even something that you can look forward to because it's so far away.
At that point, Star Wars Land may be almost ready or
halfway ready
opening.
They have a ride or a gift shop open by then.
In fact, we may get to know more about that timeline. What is that? February 21st?
February 21st on
this
ABC.
Year.
Yeah. When Harrison Ford announces what's up with Star Wars Land.
I'm so excited about this wonderful World of Disney special.
Yeah. And then we can add that to the Cliff's Notes countdown.
Yep. Oh, that'll be on there. Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, all these dates are subject to change, like we just found out with Episode 8. But as of now, those are how many days we have to look forward to.
Yep.
Some of the highlights in our life. So once again, is there a highlight that you guys would like to see in our Cliff's Notes countdown? Tweet at us.
At Skywalking Pod.
And now, here is what we want to share this week.
Things we want to share. Things we want to share. Things we want to share.
In honor of the upcoming awards season, we're going to be doing our own awards. That's right. Here comes the all-time awards.
Awards. Okay.
Now, what does that mean? It means that we already posted something on Facebook, which we got a lot of comments about selecting your favorites.
Yeah. So this is focusing on movies and TV that are Star Wars, Disney, Marvel.
Yes. We have categories like we want to know what your all-time best kiss is.
Mm-hmm. Your best bromance.
Best musical moment.
The best battle.
Favorite climactic moment.
The best catchphrase.
Favorite character with the worst temper.
I think that's your favorite one.
I like that one. I just like reading that one.
Yeah, and this is one of my favorites. Your favorite guilty pleasure film or TV show.
So many come to mind. Mm-hmm. Favorite furry character.
Yep. Best villain death. And then, of course, we had to have our best all-time TV show.
And best all-time movie.
That's right.
So lots of fun categories. That's 12. We had 22. We pared it down.
Yeah.
So everyone go onto Facebook.
Yeah, it's pinned to the top of the page. And you can basically nominate your favorites in all of these categories in the comments section. And what we will do this week, at the end of this week, we will take those nominations and see what we can put up, like 5 in each category, I would say. And then next week, we will vote on the best of the best.
You only have a couple days.
That's right.
You only have until
the 15th, right?
Which is Monday. So it's right around the corner. So so don't hesitate.
Don't delay.
Postpone.
Right.
Get your votes in now. And then when we have all of your selections, we will then pick the top 5 from each category and then release that list so everyone can vote on the top 5.
Yes.
And then the show the week later, we will announce all of the winners in each category with some surprise announcers. So that way our show will come out right before the Oscars.
Mm-hmm. With all the winners, the announcement of all the winners.
So after this show, don't worry about the Oscars. Boo, Oscars, come on.
Yeah, what is your best all-time movie or best all-time
Now,
TV show?
one thing we have to mention is that last week we said that we're just going to be voting on favorite parodies.
Yeah.
That snowballed.
yeah, we kind of created the best all-time awards out of that.
Yeah, we looked at that and go, you know what? We're limiting ourselves. Let's just really expand that. So thanks to everyone who did write in with their favorite Star Wars parodies, but let's go one step further and tell us what your favorite all-time is, okay?
Yeah.
So once again, don't procrastinate. Select now.
All right. So is that what you wanted to share?
That is what I wanted to share this week, and I'm really, really excited about that because we're gonna have some guest presenters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like the Oscars do it, where they have different people present
Only
the winners.
ours is gonna be better.
Oh, this year anyway.
Can you tell that I'm kind of peeved at the Oscars this year? Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. All right. Well,
Let's strike one more blow to the Oscars and announce the winner of the Star Wars Force Awakens Visual Dictionary. Take that, Oscars.
How is that?
I'm just trying to
How
segue.
is that
I'm
going
just
against?
trying to segue.
Okay.
Just run with it.
Okay. Well, yeah. So we had a contest running on Rafflecopter that was going on. You know, you had to tweet, you had to like our Facebook page, and most of all, you had to write iTunes and Stitcher reviews. Well, several of you entered, and now it is time to announce the winner. Who gets the Force Awakens Visual Dictionary by Pablo Hidalgo, published by DK?
Wouldn't it be funny if Ban won?
Oh my gosh, that would be really funny.
No, that wouldn't be just funny. That would be interesting.
Oh, huh. Interesting.
Huh. He's the one who gave us 2 stars last week in our.
We'll get
iTunes
into that.
reviews. We will get
into
into that. All right, come on. It would be really funny and ironic if Ban had won. Okay.
Yes. But this is our winner.
Who is the winner?
The winner is James Whalen. Congratulations, James. You did everything. You tweeted, you liked our Facebook page, you wrote an iTunes review, you did all the things. So
He also directed Bride of Frankenstein.
what?
That was James Whale.
Oh,
All right, never mind.
oh, okay. So
I'll cut that part out.
James Whalen, congratulations. You are at JDub Chronicles on Twitter. And so congratulations. Please send an email to us with your address. Email us share@skywalkingthrough.neverland.com. Now, we do have a whole big thing of prizes sitting right behind us.
We have 3 big things of prizes sitting right behind us.
We do. So we are going to be doing many more contests, and mostly those written iTunes and Stitcher reviews will really help you win.
Yeah.
That's a hint. That's a hint.
And
so,
you know what? With the iTunes reviews, we're not going to say make them good. We want you to be honest.
oh, definitely.
But just be factual.
Maybe make sure you're reviewing our show. How about that?
And make it interesting.
Oh, okay. Wow. Oh, that person's not going to live that down.
No.
Okay. So thank you. Thank you everyone for entering, and we will be having more contests. So if you didn't win this time, don't worry. We have many, many more contests coming out.
Yeah, we got many, many boxes of stuff to give away.
Yeah, so keep an eye out on our Twitter and our Facebook page for those contest announcements. And that is things we want to share.
And now let's roll in our new Skywalking Through Neverland Valentine jingle as composed by Rob Dellinger.
Now is the time. It's Skywalking time for a Disney Valentine. Be our guest, a special Valentine guest. Gather round the microphone and we will do the rest.
If you're single out there, you might want to check this out. There's a new dating site that's specifically for people who love Disney movies called Mouse Mingle.
There might be folks who want a little Disney magic in their love life. Oh, yeah. There is a new dating site called mousemingle.com. Listen, it's not actually affiliated with the Disney company, but it caters to people who love their Disney movies.
Those sound bites came from The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon and The View, where you heard Whoopi Goldberg and her friends talk about the new Disney dating website.
Hoping to match up singles this Valentine's Day is Dave Tavers, the creator of this site, who is here with us now. So if you're single, try Mouse Mingle.
Hey, Dave!
That's great. I had not heard that tagline before, but that's fantastic. Thanks for having me.
Score!
You can use that if you want.
Yeah, like we were saying earlier, our friend Paul Barry from Window to the Magic, he spoke very highly of you and mousemingle.com, so we thought for our Valentine show, we gotta have you on.
Nice, thank you.
Now, Mouse Mingle certainly has been getting a lot of mentions on network TV. We played a few bits as a lead-in, but you were also mentioned on Saturday Night Live and Conan O'Brien. It sounds like you're on the right path.
I think this is just something people wanted, and I have to be the one that got it just right.
Nice, and a good time, too. When everything is going niche, you found this great dating niche.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that Disney owns Star Wars and Marvel, you can't go 30 seconds of your life without hearing the word Disney.
Yeah.
No.
So you really got onto something huge here. Now, what made you think of creating a Disney dating website?
I've been single for a while, and I've had plenty of dates, but I'm sure you guys have heard of or encountered that comment when you start talking about Disney or Disneyland, and people go, "Oh, okay, you're one of those."
Yes, yes. That's when I excuse myself and never come back to the table.
Right. And so I had been on a bunch of the other, big popular dating sites and never really found any good matches, and there was no way to connect with specifically with people that had annual passes. And at the park, I'm not the guy that just randomly hits on women, because part of it is that's kind of creepy, and also you have no idea who's married, who's single, who's not, what the deal is. So that's where the idea came from, is just wanting to find somebody myself that loves Disney the way I do.
Right, yeah. So what kind of research did you do in creating Mouse Mingle?
Well,
other than just people watching.
Plenty of time on several other online dating sites, and that was the first steps, is just seeing that none of those really hit it for me. And some friends were here visiting from Seattle, and they're also computer geeks, and I said, "Yeah, I'm thinking about a dating site for Disney fans," and they said, "Absolutely." So ended up bugging them when they took the kids back to the hotel. I said, "Hey, we got to come up with a name," and Jen just nailed it. And like within 3 minutes, she said, "What about Mouse Mingle?" I was like, "Holy cow, that's it!"
Wow.
Is Jen another one of the creators?
No, she's just a friend from Seattle that, a software person, and
gotcha.
Her and her husband were here, and they're old friends. And from there, it actually took me, 4+ years. I registered the domain in 2011.
Wow.
But just had not gotten back to it, and went through my periods of going to the park a lot and then not, and then going to the park and still just not finding somebody to go spend time with at Disneyland. So in April, I had gone to Marceline, to Walt's hometown, and that's a special place, and that was one of the little things. I'm like, this would be so much better with some, if I was dating somebody that appreciated this and enjoyed it and could go with. And between that and a few other things, I came back and said, okay, it's time to get this done.
How far back does your Disney fandom go?
I grew up in LA, and we went tons of times as kids back when everybody could afford it. and then in, the early 2000s, I started coming to the park, bought a pass when it was really cheap, and then ended up getting a job at the park. I wanted to I wanted to be a tour guide. I love the history of Walt and the history of Disneyland, and ended up talking to who I didn't know he was a tour guide, but ended up talking to a tour guide one day, and one thing led to another. And, I did a short time at Autopia, and then went on to be a tour guide giving the Walk in Walt's Footsteps tour.
That's so awesome. And then I also heard you got to be a train engineer as well.
Wow.
I did. I had two of the best jobs in Disneyland. After a couple of years as a tour guide, which I loved every second of, I had my own consulting business and ended up going back to that. But then a couple months after I left the park, there was an opening in the Roundhouse, and I'm also a huge train geek. So I applied, interviewed, got the job, and that was really magic. Getting to drive Walt's locomotives.
Did you need any prior conducting experience, or did they just say, here are the keys?
Oh no, there was. I mean, there's a lot of training. Those are they're real steam locomotives. So it was I think a month and a half of training, because you're actually burning fuel and building up pressure in a big pressure vessel. So it's a big safety issue. But I had my experience with trains had just been model trains and working up at Walt Disney's barn in Griffith Park, and just being around those trains. But yeah, getting to actually get up into the cab was fantastic.
Wow.
So it sounds like your whole life really has been revolving around Disney, and that's been your passion. And it's so great that now you can help other Disney fans finding their perfect match, because like you had said earlier, when you go to Disneyland, you kind of want to share this experience with someone. And I know I've gone with by myself before I had Sarah, and with some friends. But then you see all the couples walking around. It's like, oh,
exactly.
So it's fantastic that you've created Mouse Mingle. Now, when did the site launch?
December 1st. And so it's just barely been 2 months.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, it was a shock. I've talked to a lot of people. I've done radio interviews in London, in Ireland.
Wow.
East Coast, all over the place, and a lot of magazines, and a lot of people say, how long has the site been around? And back then, I was like, 3 weeks. And everybody's going, what? 3 weeks?
So at what point did Conan and Jimmy Fallon and Whoopi, when did they find out about you?
The next day.
Next day?
It is crazy. I opened the site on Tuesday morning, December 1st, and then and took that day to kind of make sure everything was working, and everything seemed to be working fine. I had sent out emails to the people that had pre-registered or said, hey, let me know when the site opens. And that was like 1,000 people total. And the next day I went back to work at my normal job, and halfway through the day, people started saying, Dave, your site's up on, Engadget, and it's on, TechCrunch and all these other websites. And it just kind of caught on. And that evening, that Wednesday night, one of the guys from the office, I am in the software development world, he was helping me do some stuff, and it was pretty late. We were still sitting in the office, and one of the other guys that was still in the office said, dude, Conan O'Brien just mentioned your site on TV. I said, come on. I thought he was joking. And sure enough, Conan, the second day, made a joke.
This is crazy. I don't know if we have any Disney fans here, but yesterday a new... Okay, all right. Yesterday, a new dating site launched that is exclusively for fans of Disney. A dating site, yeah. Ladies, just be careful if any guys say they want to text you a picture of Pinocchio's nose.
Wow, and you didn't have a PR person or anyone. They just found you.
Yeah, again, I think is just something people wanted. And
there are so many matching websites to match up singles, and you figure this one here is one that Disney should have done themselves years and decades ago.
Well, I know, like 10 years ago, this would be a site I would actually sign up for.
Me too. Yeah, because like we were saying earlier, you mentioned you're into Star Wars or Disney, and they make a disparaging remark, and all of a sudden you're saying things to them you really shouldn't say to people.
Yeah. So now, Dave, have you used the site for yourself?
So it's funny. I get that question quite a bit from pretty much everybody I know. Up until, 2 weeks ago, I have just been heads down completely trying to get all, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed and updated and made better. There's all kinds of planning going on. So I had not actually spent any time on the site. But about 2 weeks ago, I sent some messages, had some good conversations, and just haven't met anybody yet in person. But the couple of women I've talked to are here in LA, and I'm looking forward to meeting some people, going to the park. And that's part of why I love this idea, because unlike saying, hey, let's go get coffee or see a movie or get dinner, it's really easy to say, even if you don't have a pass, just go to downtown Disney. It's very public, it's open, it's easy to connect with people and find out if there's a mutual interest.
I agree with that because I know when people are coming into town to LA and want to meet us and they happen to be visiting Disneyland, it's like, oh, well, just tell me when you're going to Disney and we'll hook up with you then.
Yeah,
so
I mean, it's a great icebreaker.
Yeah, and it's a public place, like you said, so it is a good
safe.
thing to know.
And it's safe. So, and that's one of the features that I want to add at some point in the next several months is the ability to say, hey, because not everybody lives near a Disney park. I want people to be able to on their profile put something that says, hey, I'm going to this park or around this time, whether it's that date or something like that, so that you can actually say, hey, I'm looking to meet other people. If you're nearby, let's go stand in line at an attraction together.
Oh, so like you want to do some meetups?
Absolutely. Well, that is, I haven't come up with a good name for that yet, but I want that to just be a feature.
Meetup.
Well, we've been calling them mouse meets.
Yeah, mouse meets. I was going to say mouse meets.
Okay, that's just as good, I guess.
And that we had one for the New Year's Eve party that we did with the El Capitan Theater. That was a paid event that the El Capitan and Madame Tussauds had organized, and we came in and brought a bunch of Disney people together. It was a lot of fun. Bob Gurr showed up.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fun. Everybody watched Star Wars at the El Capitan. And then went across the street to Madame Tussauds for a New Year's Eve party and silent DJ and drinks and hors d'oeuvres and things like that. And it was fun. Fun event.
Oh, cool.
Boy, only 2 months. You're really hitting it hard.
Hey, things have, I've been lucky and things have fallen into place, and now the hard work starts. Making the site better and getting more people on and getting matches to work better, things like that.
Huh. Yeah, and we've heard firsthand about some matches. I know Paul Berry from Window to the Magic also interviewed you in the Disney parks, and on that day he met his first mouse mingle woman.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I've had a couple of those emails so far, and I'm working on. I want to develop those connections with those people, and hopefully get them to write some testimonials and talk about their experience. And
yeah, that would be great to get some testimonials on there on the site.
Do you know what your success rate is so far?
Well, what do you mean by success rate of people that are start dating?
Yeah.
That I don't. It's hard to tell on pretty much on any dating site. People either go dormant or they cancel their account. Right? Generally, they don't come back and say, "Hey, thanks, I found somebody," and then I'm gone.
Maybe that should be a new page on your site.
Yes.
If something had
Tell your story.
happened, please let us know.
Right. We have a tell your story page, and we send it out an email probably a month and a half ago. But there's so many things. I had no idea how much effort there was in putting this together, because it's it's answering the customer emails, and it's making sure that the site stays up and working on new technology, answering media requests, doing interviews, working on the future planning, what features, just a lot of things. So they're all on the list, and I know some people keep saying, "Hey, when are you going to add this? When are you going to add that?" And I'm like, I promise you, I want to, even for myself.
Now, is there a cost to join Mouse Mingle?
It's like every other dating site. You can set up your profile for free, and then if you want to send messages and communicate, it's $12.55 a month. It's auto recurring, but there's no contract. Where most of the dating sites are, you got to sign up for 3 months or 6 months or 12 months, and it's far more expensive. I wanted it to be, low cost. Anybody can join. It doesn't, it's pretty cheap compared to everybody else, and it's just a way to cover the cost and be able to add more things to the site.
Yeah.
Do you know how many members you have right now?
Tens of thousands of profiles are on the site.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
From all over the world. It's crazy. I was afraid that it would end up being, 90% of people would be near Disney World or Disneyland. And it's not. There are people all over the country, all over the world. Like I'm surprised whenever I'm browsing through, in the database, I'm looking at things and I see people from New Jersey and Chicago and New York. I'm like, holy cow.
And it's not just dating. Is there somewhere where they can sign up for pen pals, or maybe if someone just wants a friend?
And that's the Park Pal option. So when it says, what are you looking for? There is friendship, dating, marriage, and Park Pal. So I figure the friendship and the Park Pal kind of, the friendship is connecting with other people to just have the same interest. Park Pal is somebody that you say, hey, I want to go to the park with.
Right.
So it's, it doesn't have, this is not a strictly, hey, you got to get married if you get on this site. It's, it's supposed to be for fun and connect people.
I know that works a lot because when you have an annual pass and maybe you're living alone or don't have friends that necessarily have annual passes, you want to go, but you don't want to go alone necessarily. So
that's a
I
great
think
idea.
this is a great idea to meet up with people who, also have passes and you can go with them.
Right. And that's part of the idea of doing more mouse meets is I want to organize some more things at all of the parks, not just Disney World and Disneyland, but come up with times to say, hey, even if you don't have a pass, here in Los Angeles, I want to, say, hey, on this given Sunday, all the mouse minglers let's go visit Walt Disney's barn in Griffith Park, or we're gonna go to the Walt's Carousel. I say Walt's Carousel, the Griffith Park Carousel.
Yes,
because Disney people get those references, and it's just a place to hey, bring a picnic lunch or bring a couple sandwiches, bring whatever, and kind of trying to help organize, come up with a plan for those. But once summertime comes around, I'm hoping to do more of those, at least once a month.
Might be really fun to do like a secretive one. All the Disney fans out there, let's meet at the place where Walt always had lunch over there in Los Feliz.
Oh,
that's good. that might take a little more planning. They probably wouldn't be happy if people suddenly showed up.
Nice. Well, okay, so let's talk about like when someone goes on your site and wants to create a profile, like perhaps Valentine's Day is coming up, so got to sign up for Mouse Mingle. What other kinds of questions should they be prepared to answer when they're signing up?
So that you'd asked about what research I did, and I really went on every dating site I could find and looked at their questions, and pretty much every dating site, even the niche ones, are all the same. I didn't want Mouse Mingle to be the same thing. You'll find out enough about people once you meet them, but this is more on the fun side. So there's a few questions about, where do you live and what color's your eyes and your hair, but there's only a few of those. And then everything else is favorite attraction, favorite, Disney song, favorite movie. Why do you like those movies? What's your Star Wars geek level? All those questions to try to get, people to engage that way and hopefully, make the matches better eventually. So you can say, oh, well, I'm a hardcore Star Wars fan. That's what I'm, I want to get matched up with somebody like that.
Nice.
Well, those are the kind of questions that should be asked even on Match.com or JDate.
Right. And thankfully they're not.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Now, has Disney themselves caught on to this? And if so, had they said anything?
So yeah, oddly enough, after Saturday Night Live, I got a call on Monday morning.
Oh.
It went very well. They were.
So what did Bob Iger say?
It was, sir, their legal department said, hey, congrats. This looks fantastic. We're excited for you. Good luck. They had a couple of questions and issues, and they were very easy to resolve and took care of them. And they said, we're looking forward to seeing what you do. So they're rooting for me for the site, and everything is good.
Oh, wow.
Did they give you permission to use any logos or any kind of images?
No. But I'm not using any of that stuff. All the the profile questions are just regular questions, and I don't want to even come close to infringing. I want to make sure they're happy, and so far they are happy. So I'm happy.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that that's all resolved. Or
was there anything that you were doing where they said, let's not do this?
Honestly, not. It was everything they brought up was very minor and easy to fix.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Hey.
All right, now we got a little game for you here. Now, being the now Disney dating guru, that's going to be your official title. We want you to match up these characters with someone other than the person they're also in the movie with.
Yeah.
So if we said Woody, you couldn't say Jesse.
Right. Oh my gosh.
All right, so put your thinking cap on.
But another Disney character that might not be in that movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So if
are we going on to Star Wars and Marvel too? Disney
anything
umbrella.
under the Disney umbrella is safe. So if you said Han Solo, you couldn't say Princess Leia. You really had to stretch your imagination.
Shouldn't say Luke either, right? Oh,
right.
sorry.
No.
Sorry, for Leia. Leia, I meant, yeah.
Awkward.
You know what? We're not going to judge you there, Dave. You do what you think is right, of course.
Okay, boy, that's a hard game. Do you play this with other people?
When it lends itself.
Yeah.
But this one here just screamed, okay, let's stump Dave.
You are going to stump me because here's the thing. I will totally admit, of course, I love all things Disney. I am a Disneyland park history guy and a Walt Disney history guy. I've seen all the movies, but let's see how I do because I.
Okay.
You know what? Then to be fair, we could say someone like Mary Poppins, and you could say Judy, who works over there at the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
You know,
or the Hatbox Ghost or
all's
something.
fair in love and war.
So you can use like Disneyland like characters maybe.
So you know what? Let's start with that one, Sarah. Okay, Dave, Hatbox Ghost. Who's his match?
Well, are you talking about a dating match, or are you just talking about somebody that I think you?
You know what? How about a dating? If the Hatbox Ghost were to go onto your site looking for a date, who would it be and why?
Oh my gosh! Does everybody get stumped like this?
Yeah, don't worry. We always edit out the pauses.
Yeah, don't worry. And if you Skywalkers have any ideas, tweet at us at SkywalkingPod.
That's it. You know what? I might have to use these questions on Mouse Mingle.
Oh,
you go right ahead.
I'll go post these on social and say, hey, who are the what kind of matches do you have for these people? Because I'll tell you, I don't have a good answer.
You know what? Yeah, there are no wrong answers.
So my first, I'm trying to think some other ghost. So what other ghosts are there in Disney movies?
Doesn't have to be a ghost necessarily. It probably would help in the dating world.
Ghost.
Well, first person I thought of was Demi Moore, right, from Ghost, but she likes the Ghost guys, so they might hit it off.
Well, that
All right, hold on.
That works.
Judges say yes. Judges say yes. Don't let that one go by.
Yeah.
Right.
Woo.
All right, next one.
All right, next one is Mary Poppins.
Say if Mary Poppins wanted a park pal.
Well, okay,
wasn't
so
Bert.
As a park pal, I think that Mary Poppins, and this is my Disney history nerddom and my guest relations nerddom coming back, I think Mary Poppins and Cicely Rigdon would enjoy hanging out together. So Cicely, do you guys know who Cicely Rigdon was?
Yeah, but just remind us because anyone else who doesn't know.
Cicely Rigdon was the woman that Walt handpicked to start the guest relations group at Disneyland, and she ran the tour guide department for tons of years. Anybody who got hired by her, they were the best of the best. And she was very proper, a proper English lady, and she really made sure all of the tour guides were in proper shape every day. She checked all the costumes and made sure that they acted properly. And I think that her and Mary Poppins might hit it off.
Well, good
That's
answer.
great. That's a great answer.
All right, only 76 more to go. So, say if Winnie the Pooh were looking for his perfect match to someday get married.
Oh, boy.
You know what? Let's broaden it out to anyone in the fictional, or non-fictional, anyone you want.
Anyone I want. So I'm thinking about Winnie the Pooh. He's sweet and very nice, but he's also, not the brightest. So, getting his head stuck in a honey pot. I don't know many people that do that. And my first thought goes political, but I won't go there.
Oh, feel free.
Okay.
Feel free.
Gosh, who might Winnie the Pooh want to spend the rest of his life with? It's got to be somebody that's on his same level. So,
do you know who popped into my mind?
Who?
Honey Boo Boo.
Oh,
when she turns 18, that is. Image popped in my head. So,
yeah, same mental level, I think.
Oh.
All right, number 36. If Olaf wanted a park pal, who would you pair him up with?
Boy, I'm gonna get some hisses here. I have not seen Frozen yet.
Yes.
I know he's a snowman. I've seen. It has been you couldn't miss it, but I don't know his personality yet.
Okay.
Now
he loves everything.
I will use this excuse. I started working on Mouse Mingle in April of last year, and sincerely, I did nothing for 8 or 9 months. But I came home from work, worked on Mouse Mingle. Weekends, worked on Mouse Mingle. I did nothing. I barely saw any movies. And when Frozen came out, everybody went crazy, and I just was like, I didn't have any time to go do anything else. So,
Frozen came out in 2013, right?
Are you kidding?
Yes.
Yeah,
no,
November.
I'm not kidding.
So you got some explaining to do.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Well, so I'll say this: when Cars came out, I love Toy Story, and I thought Cars is just another way for Pixar to just make a bunch of money, and I thought it was going to suck. And I refused to see that for probably a year and a half. And then finally I was babysitting for some friends, and it was their son's favorite movie, and he would watch it hour repeat on repeat. I ended up sitting down watching it with him. It is one of my all-time favorite Disney movies now. I watched it yesterday. I'm not exaggerating. I love Cars. So maybe Frozen will be the same thing. Maybe I will get around to watching it, and then I will be walking around singing the song with everybody else in the world.
What about...
Wait a minute, Sarah, do you have one? What do you suggest for Olaf if he wants to go to the park and wants a park pal? He goes on to mousemingle.com.
Oh, okay. So I think he should go with... Who's the guy in the Matterhorn bobsleds?
The Yeti?
The Yeti. Olaf and the Yeti, they'd balance each other out.
Oh, they both like snow.
Yeah.
Okay.
One is mean, one is not.
Do you know who popped in my mind?
Who?
Chief Brody.
From?
Jaws.
Oh.
Because they both like the beach.
Oh, he's a snowman that likes the beach. That's awesome.
Yes. Well, I guess technically Chief Brody doesn't like the beach anymore.
No.
But he's always on the beach. Olaf likes going to the beach. Perfect park pal. Booyah.
Good connection. I like that.
All right. Sarah, let's go with one final one. Who do you suggest?
Should we do... Well, okay, so since you like cars so much, let's go with the main car.
Lightning McQueen.
Yeah, Lightning McQueen. Who would he be a park buddy with? Who could you see him driving down Main Street?
All right, so I'm not. I love the movie. In real life. I'm not a real life car nut. However, I am a huge DeLorean fan, so I'm gonna have to say Lightning McQueen is gonna have to be driving down with the DeLorean car. Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm
a Back to the Future nerd as well, so
cool.
It's a good match. Yeah, I
think
so.
Perfect.
All right. Well, with that, we're almost out of time.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Very
out of time.
Nice segue.
There's a great segue into asking you, before we wrap things up, how can people find mousemingle.com? I guess going to mousemingle.com. And you on social media.
If you search for Mouse Mingle on Facebook, Flickr, Google+, Instagram, LinkedIn, Periscope, Pinterest, Twitter, YouTube, it's on all of them.
Wow.
So
how do you keep track?
Over time, we'll be adding more content to all the sites, but for now, join on whatever your favorite social media is, and we'll have announcements of when we're doing things and when we've made significant updates, and when there's free chat weekends, things like that.
Oh, cool. Ooh.
Are you planning any Valentine's Day meetups?
I wanted to do something, and nothing has materialized yet. So honestly, there's, like I said, so many other things I'm working on, and unfortunately, I didn't come up with something. It's been 2 months since the site's open, and right now is a really busy and critical time. So, long answer, short question, no.
When you say you're working on some other things, some other websites, or other parts of Mouse Mingle?
Just parts of Mouse Mingle.
Okay.
I've got a couple people that are helping and trying to build a good team to get things working more the way I want and the way all the people want.
So what is the next big step for Mouse Mingle?
Next big step. Honestly, I want to plan, get a mouse meet set up, planned, so that we can make an announcement and give people a chance to plan for it. So that's probably one of the fun things. So on the back end, it's really doing more, more coding and getting, some more of the technology updated.
Okay.
But that's probably nobody cares about that really.
Well, no, I do want to know, I don't think we mentioned it, but for our listeners, Mouse Mingle, you also have an app. Is that correct?
There's some temporary apps through one of the pieces of software I'm using has some temporary apps. We're working on the Android and iOS apps for the site, but it takes a while to get through the Apple rigmarole.
Yes,
that's true. So we're going to have custom apps, but for now the temporary apps work fine, and you can use them on your mobile devices.
Cool, and I know that's how Paul Berry was able to hook up with some mouse minglers. So
yeah. You got quite a few mices.
Mices, yes.
Okay. Well, yay. Well, thank you so much, Dave, for talking with us today. And everyone go check out @MouseMingle on Twitter and, of course, mousemingle.com.
And if you do, please let us know what you think of it and if you find anybody this Valentine's Day or beyond.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to hear that too. And thank you guys so much for having me. Very exciting, and I appreciate the time.
All right,
Well,
yay.
thank you, Dave, and happy Valentine's Day.
Same to you. Bye.
Wow. All right.
What a great site that Dave had put up there. Just fantastic. And it really, like he was saying, that if you go on to some of these other sites and say that you're a Disney or Star Wars fan, people they don't understand what that really, really means. And once again, I really want to reiterate that this is a site for people all over the world. I know we were really focusing on people around a Disney theme park, but this is for people everywhere.
And I'm sure as the site grows, he'll have more meetups and meeting places everywhere.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure that point came across, that no matter where you are, go to mousemingle.com and meet your perfect Disney or Star Wars match.
Shoutouts, Skywalker shoutouts. Which Skywalkers get props from here in Neverland? Who was tweeted out? Shout out. Who was photobombed? Shout out. Who was shared a post? Shout out.
Richard, you have been very busy blogging on retrozap.com.
Well, this is the 19th anniversary of the Star Wars Special Editions, and you can't let this just go by.
No. And yeah, all of us Star Wars fans have very good memories of this. I know for me, it was my 16th birthday.
Yeah, for some of the newer generation fans,
That was the very first time they saw it.
Yeah, on the big screen.
Well, yeah. But some people who are even younger than me, that was the very first time they saw Star Wars, ever. For me, it was just a way to, actually see them on the big screen. And
the way it was meant to be seen.
Yeah, and experience it with a group of people. That, for me, was the most shocking thing, that watching Star Wars, everyone was clapping at the right moments, or everyone was sighing, or everyone was
Well, that's the point I was trying to get across with this. Now, say what you will about the effects and the changes George made, blah, blah, blah. But just like you were just talking about, I really want to focus on the enthusiasm.
Right.
Because Star Wars, for the first time, was back in full force. And the world was going crazy over it. And it just brought so many good feelings for everyone. And it really brought the fan community together, little by little. It was like what we see in Star Wars Rebels. How we see the very first steps of the rebellion.
Yeah.
It's like the very first steps of the Star Wars fan community. Growing from here.
Well, and I have to say your article brought the fan community together, because I know a lot of the RetroZap team really loved your article, and voice actress Anna Graves read your article and tweeted out to us that she had read it, basically, and this is what she said. Now, first of all, Anna Graves, she is the voice of Duchess Satine on Star Wars The Clone Wars.
Here to do more of your master's bidding.
And that was super exciting. So she tweeted this. Great article. I still have my 97 ticket stubs. I had only seen A New Hope on VHS up until that day. Star Wars, #1997.
So it was great that it brought out so many different happy memories from everyone, including Anna Graves. And from all the tweets that we got, no one really focused on the effects and how things were changes. Yeah, nothing negative. It just brought out so many good, happy memory. And that's what I was trying to do with that article.
Yeah.
So go over to retrozap.com, read it for yourself, and let us know if you have any fun, happy memories from these Star Wars Special Editions.
Yeah, any stories. All right, well, speaking of blog posts, Drew Kaplan, he blogged about our December 30th Force Awakens meetup at Downtown Disney.
Drew Kaplan, our last week Skywalker of the Week and Long Beach friend.
Yeah, so he wrote a blog post about the experience on his Star Wars blog, starwarsmaven.info. So thank you so much, Drew, and everyone go check that out. Go to starwarsmaven.info and check out the December 30th blog. We love that.
Yeah. It's so great when we can because we didn't know Drew Kaplan when
Before
we had that
day.
meetup. He saw a tweet you had put out and said, "Hey, I'm in."
Yep.
He came down and we became good friends, and we went to go watch Rebels at his house last week, and that's just how it happens.
Yep, that Star Wars fan community is just building and building. Yay. All right, well, we love when our creativity in podcasting inspires other people's creativity in their areas of expertise. So I want to thank at JJordan584, who is otherwise known as Uber Nerd on Twitter. I love that name. After hearing our classic Marvel Star Wars comics episode number 7, he created a fun comic-inspired drawing. He brought to life, Richard, your story about bringing your Vader mask to Sunday school.
Yeah, just to reiterate, we were all talking about a line in the Star Wars comic where Han Solo said that he shouldn't have missed so much Sunday school. So that just inspired a big conversation between the three of us, and I had mentioned that after going to school 5 days a week, now you have one more day of getting up early, and I was just so focused on Star Wars, I couldn't focus on anything else, and I kept bringing my Darth Vader mask to Sunday school because if I'm gonna be there, I want to be there as Darth Vader. And that's when they asked me to stop coming.
Yeah.
So Jay Jordan, he created a comic strip.
Yeah.
Which is really funny. And here's a picture of me sitting at a table with my with my Darth Vader mask and cape.
Yep.
And
I don't think that's supposed to be me, although the coloring is very me.
But now that you have red hair and she's got red hair, maybe that's you and me.
I don't think so. No, because read it. So no, that's Karen.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so there's a little redhead girl sitting next to me, and she says,
"Teacher, it's hard to believe that Noah could build that big of an ark at his age."
And then I say through my Darth Vader mask, "Karen, I find your lack of faith disturbing."
Because I'm sure your voice was that deep as a little kid.
Through that Darth Vader mask, that's how I heard my voice.
Of course you did.
Of course, at that age, my voice was very high-pitched. But I'm not kidding it. When I was wearing that mask, whenever I would speak, I would hear my voice as James Earl Jones.
That's pretty cool.
So that's a fantastic comic strip. So thank you very, very, very much, Jay Jordan. Love it.
Okay, well, one more thing I would like to shout out.
Okay.
Finally, it was pretty awesome to see the amount of feedback we got refuting our boring conversation anyway 2-star review on iTunes.
Now, this is where the reviewer said that all we say during our interviews is, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And a lot of you came out and said he must have been looking at the wrong podcast.
Yeah. So at Jedi RG, he tweeted, "Needs more polish? Dull? Sorry, Ban must be listening to another podcast. Reality check, definitely not an accurate review."
And then Dante Hernandez, he came out and said, had to pause in the middle of episode 109 so I could say, "This is the most interesting podcast in the galaxy. Ban is clueless."
Isn't that cute?
That's very, very cute. Thanks everyone for coming out and just clarifying it. But we just wanted to go back to some of our interviews to see if there was any validity to this.
Okay.
So let's play a few seconds of this interview we just did last week with Carly and Bryce Yelverton when they were talking about their Skellig Michael visit.
Mm-hmm.
So let's listen in and see if Ban is right in any way.
So we decided that we were going to walk back down, and
That's interesting.
we decided that we were going to eat our lunch
That's interesting.
where they filmed The Force Awakens.
That is interesting.
So we ate down in the area where Rey approaches Luke Skywalker.
And of course,
it's interesting.
That is so interesting.
Bryce took some posing pictures of him trying to use the Force.
Now that is what I call interesting.
That's interesting.
So maybe Ban was on the right track.
Uh-oh.
Not!
Oh, boy. Wow. I really hope he listens back.
If you're going to give us a 2-star review, make it good.
Yep.
Well, do you know what really is interesting this week? Our new Skywalker of the Week.
That's right.
And the winner is...
Franklin Taylor.
Congratulations, Franklin Taylor. You are our Skywalker of the Week. Thank you for tweeting each week to everyone who's on the show about the show. We really appreciate that. And we notice that every week you do that. So we just want to thank you, and thank you for promoting the show on Twitter.
And a Skywalker of the Week jingle, well deserved. And once again, we want to thank Rob Dellinger for composing that jingle, because as you know, he is...
the John Williams of podcasting.
You're the busiest bee in the fan community. You get around the galaxy enthusiastically. You're 0.5 past light speed.
What happens when you combine Star Wars weekends with the Love Boat? Well, you get Star Wars Day at Sea aboard the Disney Fantasy Cruise Ship. This all-new cruise has already set sail, and our good friends, Michelle and Michael, or as you may know them, the parents of Chickafant,
they were lucky enough to be aboard this maiden voyage. And here they are to tell us all about it.
Hey, Michelle and Michael, and Chickafant.
Hey, guys.
Oh, yay.
Hey, after being such a long time Skywalkers, I think this is the first time you two or you three have been guests on the show.
It is, actually, yeah. So we're very honored to be on the show. So thank you very much for asking us to be a part of it.
Oh, of course. Yeah, you guys have gone on this new Disney cruise with the Star Wars Day at Sea. But before that, can you just tell us a little bit about yourselves and your Star Wars Disney fandom so our listeners can get to know you?
I'll let Michelle go first.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it.
Ladies first.
Ladies first. Very good. Well, I'm a very supportive Star Wars wife. I'm going to point that out, first of all. Let's see. We've been to a number of celebrations. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All of the U.S.
All the U.S.
for
ones.
The first
we'll
one.
say that, yeah.
Wow.
We have attended Star Wars weekends quite a few times. We have a Star Wars room. We have a cat that's half named from Star Wars. So I think it's a pretty big fandom. Michael's been a fan since you were a small child.
Yeah, I started in 77 with the comics because the movie didn't come out in my town in Virginia where I grew up until 78, the following year. So that's when I officially saw the movie just before the holiday special came out. So I've been a fan ever since then. And Disney-wise, I grew up with Disney being on television with the Wonderful World of Disney. That was that Sunday show the family all got together. And then, of course, when I moved to Florida many, many years ago and met up with Michelle, who's been a lifelong Disney fan herself. Sorry about that.
Was that your cat, Darth Magnus?
That was
Magnus, yes.
Sorry.
But, so yeah, I've been Disney fan for almost as long as Star Wars, probably even a little bit earlier, just because of the TV show.
I've been going to the parks pretty much since birth, so you know.
So then, Michelle, you're a Star Wars fan by association,
yes,
or
I'm a very supportive Star Wars fan. I will say I like food collectibles, so probably one of the first shows we heard from you guys because we saw you at Star Wars weekends. And Michael's like, hey, we need to listen to this podcast. And then he's like, oh, they were talking about food collectibles. And I'm like, ooh, I'm all about the food collectibles.
Oh, that's right.
So you've had us hooked since then.
Okay, with the Disney Parks food collectible, like popcorn buckets and things.
Ah.
Yeah, with Marcus Gonzalez.
Yes,
yeah.
That's correct.
Awesome.
So, Michelle, we heard your backstory and Michael's backstory. Now, where's Chickafant? Why is he being so quiet?
Well, Chickafant does better with writing than speaking.
and pictures.
And all his writing looks like chicken scratch.
Yes, he does really well with pictures, and he likes to send things to people. So he's nonverbal. We'll put it that way.
And we can give a big thank you to Chickafant for sending Sarah and I our Star Wars Day at Sea name plaques. They were awesome.
Yeah, and guess where we're from? Alderaan.
We are.
On the name plaques.
Even though you should never land there, you got us 2 name plaques, two cast member name plaques.
Yeah.
That says our name in Arabic, and it says we're from Alderaan.
Awesome. Yeah, exclusive on the Star Wars cruise. So that's the only way you can get them.
Yeah.
So, Chickafant, he's been with us for a while, about 13 years. We got to the point in our life where we stopped taking pictures of ourselves. So, everybody likes to know what a chicken does.
So give us a background on what Chickafant is.
Okay.
Well, we picked up actually Chickafant. It's a stuffed chicken. It's spotted. And we picked it up at an IKEA in Seattle. He doesn't know he was actually bought. We adopted him, but we didn't have to pay money. So as far as he knows, he was adopted from IKEA.
Right.
And ever since then, we've just been going around in all of our travels, and people have been wondering, what do we do? They were more interested in what Chickafant was doing. So Chickafant started doing selfies well before they were selfies, and had a MySpace page and grew into Facebook and now Twitter and Instagram, so everyone can follow Chickafant's adventures around the world. We just get to tag along for the fun of it.
MySpace. Wait, how long has Chickafant been around?
He's 13 years old.
Whoa.
13. He's going to be asking to use the car soon,
2000.
getting dating advice.
That was MySpace age. Oh my goodness. That was 2003?
Yeah, probably.
Well, in that area, yeah. Right before Facebook became a thing.
Before Facebook, he had a MySpace.
Yeah.
If you Google Chickafant, you'll actually see what a Chickafant looks like, and then you'll see our Chickafant.
Oh.
It's funny. You had always written into Skywalking through Neverland and Talking Apes TV, and you would sign it off as Chickafant, and we're all like, what is a Chickafant? What is this?
I was always wondering, like, what is this kid? How old is this kid? I can't tell because they write really well, but yet they're saying my parents, and I was all confused.
And then we met you at Star Wars Celebration Anaheim, and you came over to us and said, hi, we're the parents of Chickafant.
And then it clicked.
And we're like, wait, what? then you showed us Chickafant. It's like, oh, now it's all coming together.
I think the best was Richard Your Face was just like, what? That wasn't a Mark of Desolate?
Yeah.
I was floored.
Yeah, I yell, Mark, guess who they are right here? Mark's like, I've got no idea. Stop putting me on the spot. Like, this is Chickafant. And he's still looking at me just as confused. So we had explained all that to him.
That was so funny.
But you know what? Aside from all that, we now want to know all about your journey.
Yes, Chickafant and your journey on the Star Wars Day at Sea. So, okay, so take us with you. Okay. What happens first? And like, where did you go? Where do you board? You know, all that stuff.
And this is an official Disney cruise ship, right?
It is. So this is Star Wars Day at Sea. We actually are on the second trip, so not the maiden voyage. We decided for the second because we wanted to make sure the first one got all the bugs out.
Oh.
It didn't hit any icebergs?
Icebergs, drama,
theme parks,
any of that other good stuff.
Castles.
Yeah.
That's true.
So it actually set sail on the 23rd of January from Port Canaveral. And so that's when you board the ship, and it's kind of a normal boarding process for a cruise. You know, everyone waits in their line, waits for their numbers to be called. You get on board. They had this big display that was Star Wars Day at Sea that you could get pictures taken on as soon as you came on. So a lot of people were immediately doing that. And just with the typical Disney experience, they announce your name as you're coming on. I think in the past you've seen the Chickafant family be introduced. We did that again this time because we were on the Fantasy in September of last year, and we knew a lot of the same crew was going to be on there again. So it's kind of our way to announce, hey, we're back, in case you didn't know that.
Right.
But
so did you meet anyone on the cruise who knew exactly who you were?
On the cast, yes, from Disney crew members, a lot of people remembered us as soon as we pulled out the Chickafant out and went up to get pictures. We were known as the Chicken Family, which we'll take. That's fine. And a lot of the characters, especially Chip and Dale, will actually do the chicken arm dance when they see us coming because they know who we are. So it's kind of special now that we've got that connection with some of the characters and cast members.
So you get your own fan base within Disney.
I love it.
We've got some of them following us. Yes, Chickafant has some cast members following him now, so that's pretty cool.
One of them actually said, they're like, oh, I saw on Instagram that the chicken was here. And I was like, yeah.
You two are famous.
Well, I think Chickafant's more famous than we are, but we'll
Right. Now, what day did Star Wars Day happen? And
how long is the cruise?
Yeah, how long is the cruise, and what day was Star Wars?
Well, the cruise is 7 days long. It starts on a Saturday and ends on a Saturday. Star Wars Day at Sea was Wednesday. So the entire day is devoted for Star Wars. So every day up until that was your awesome Disney Cruise Line experience. So your characters, a lot of food, a lot of fun. But truly that day was all Star Wars Day from the beginning to the end. So Michael got up really early in the morning, and on their big funnel vision, they had the big Star Wars Day at Sea logo. And it basically started from there. So all day long, there were different character experiences that were walking around free on the boat. We also had the ability on day one, when we got to our stateroom, you actually filled out a form and you said, what were your top 3 choices? So did you want the dark side, a Bespin experience,
Tatooine.
And then
was the third.
Tatooine was the third experience. And then you were randomly selected for your choice. So we kind of lucked out and we got Captain Phasma for our first choice.
Wait, so this is a character experience? You had to sign up for different characters?
For the 3 main photo opportunities,
okay.
They actually put your name in for a drawing, so they could make sure everybody had the chance to see one of the 3 characters.
Wow.
Wow.
So Captain Phasma, that's awesome.
So it wasn't an option to meet all the characters. You had to do like a raffle system?
Yeah, it seems like it was first come, first serve. And you put your choices. We actually got our first choice and we got our third choice. A lot of folks got their second or third. So it was a random system. I'm sure there's a more specific way for that, but we haven't quite figured it out. But we were happy to get our first choice and then our third choice.
What was your third choice?
Our third choice was
Bespin.
So it was either Boba Fett or Chewbacca. And we ended up getting the third one. The second choice was either C-3PO and R2-D2 or Darth Maul. So those were your choices. So those were assigned specific times during the day. You actually had like a time to show up to get your pictures taken and have your experience. And then throughout the day, there was still character experiences. So there was Jawas walking around. There was First Order. Boba Fett was over the pool. Let's see.
A Gamorrean guard walking around.
How often does someone walk by Boba Fett by the pool and go, Boba Fett, where? And knock him in.
He was actually like on top, like over the pool area.
One of the funnels.
Like on top of one of the funnels.
Looking down.
He's looking down like that. Looks like a Sarlacc to me.
So that was kind of those general experiences. And then the movie played that day. So if you hadn't seen the movie, there was actually people in the boat that hadn't seen the movie.
Oh, The Force Awakens?
Yes. They The Force Awakens on the boat.
Who are these shut-ins?
I think they figured they're spending all this money to go on an awesome cruise that they would use that as their experience also. So the movie was available. And then there was, of course, merchandise opportunities to purchase.
No, stop it. Stop it.
I know.
Did they show all the movies or just The Force Awakens?
Yeah, throughout the other days leading up to Wednesday, you could see the other movies. Like they had, and they started with, episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, all the way up. So that when you got to Wednesday, the feature would be The Force Awakens.
Wow. How big is this theater?
Well, the movie theater itself is a smaller theater, but they were also showing it in their main theater that they do their Broadway-style shows. So that seats thousands. So you could easily have a lot of people watching it at the same time.
And I think in that version, it was the 3D.
In the big theater.
In the big theater. In the smaller theater, it was just regular 2D. So for the folks that don't want your 3D experience.
Right.
And did they also show Clone Wars and Rebels?
On Funnel Vision, which is the big screen that's out by the pool for the kids, they were showing Rebels, I think, all day on Star Wars Day.
Yeah,
I don't remember seeing Clone Wars anywhere.
No, that's Cartoon Network, so they want nothing to do with that.
So they had Rebels, though, on the big screen, which was really cool. And then, of course, people dressed up. So there was lots of dress-up opportunities. A lot of your items that are available at the parks were there for purchase. So you could get a BB-8 sipper cup. You could get the Thai popcorn bucket. The Stein. So that's really good for folks that maybe were just coming for the cruise and didn't have a chance to go to the parks. I don't know how people were getting all that stuff home. We live local. And I was like, no, we're not buying that. We'll get it at the park. It's okay.
And now, what about the live shows? Michael, did you see any live shows out there?
We saw the Aladdin show.
Right. And that's on their typical Disney shows.
Right.
On Star Wars Day, no live show. Your live show was...
They didn't do any live production shows.
True.
We went to, they had a Star Wars 101 show, they called it.
Which was cool.
Which was, so that way you can come in and get introduced to all the key characters, kind of learn a little bit about each of the movies and the vehicles and the planets. So that was kind of fun to just go and be a part of and listen to that. And then Pablo Hidalgo he was there and did a presentation about the visual dictionary, how that came to be, and the challenges he had to write that under all the secrecy. So that was kind of nice. But yeah, they didn't do a stage show for anything Star Wars.
So not like at Star Wars weekends. Now, would you compare this more to a Star Wars weekends day or a Star Wars celebration?
Yeah, it's more like a Star Wars weekends type event. They did have the closing show that they do at night on pirate nights on the boat, where they typically have a pirate show and fireworks. That was replaced on Star Wars night with a Star Wars show called Summon the Force, and then fireworks to replace that. And that's kind of like the end of the Star Wars weekend shows, where they have the different characters come out on stage and do different things, and then end with the big fireworks show. So they did have that kind of a production show.
And it was all Star Wars music also. So it was the John Williams music. It was a score. So Sarah would have really enjoyed that.
Yeah. What about on the ship, on board ship? Do you have like music playing like you do at the Disney parks?
Yes. So Star Wars Day, every music anywhere you went was all Star Wars music. So as soon as you walked out of like your stateroom door, like it's the first thing I noticed, because of course we walk out our door and we go to get coffee. And I'm like, I stopped in the middle of the hallway and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, it's Star Wars music. And he's like, it's Star Wars Day at Sea. And I'm like, I didn't think it was going to be playing in the hallways. And it was in the hallways and it was in all the areas. And then when you went into certain areas, so like in the adult section of the boat where like the bars are, it was more of a jazzy version of like Star Wars music. So it was really cool. But yeah, every place you went all day long was Star Wars music.
Unless you went outside on the deck into the adult areas, you probably couldn't get away from Star Wars music for that day.
Nice.
That's cool. You know, you're speaking of the adult areas, and I just want to take a slight tangent here because this is our Valentine's episode, and you guys are a couple.
Okay.
And so is there anything like Disney cruises, you automatically think family or kids, but is there anything to do on a Disney cruise for adults, like for couples, for romance?
Yes, there is actually. We are a kidless family other than a chicken and a cat. So I was very concerned the first time we went on a Disney cruise. We are huge Disney fans, annual pass holders. We've been to Disneyland, Disney World, Hong Kong Disneyland, Paris Disneyland. Like we're working our way through the parks and I'm like, what's going to happen? Like kids are going to overrun. And the adult areas are truly for adults. The adult pools are for adults. The adult bars are for adults. There's adult trivia. There's actually an upper scale adult restaurants. So there's 2 separate restaurants on the boats, Paulo and Remy. They're for a premium more price, a little bit more, but they're adult only, 18 and up. So there's no high chairs or chicken fingers in those types of restaurants.
Or getting hit by strollers.
Correct. Yes. So you're having to dress up a little bit more. So it would be a really nice opportunity. There's also special packages that they do. So if you were doing a romance package, you can get, I saw one that was champagne, chocolate, bathrobes that would be delivered. There's massages. A couple that we were with, they did couples massages on the boat. So yeah, there's a whole gamut of things for adults, which is really cool for us. And don't get me wrong, the kids areas are fun too. I mean, we did the aqueduct, you know.
Nice.
But if you were going on a Valentine's Day cruise, you would definitely be able to like spin the romance.
Okay. All right. That's really good to know and really good to know.
Yeah, I got it. I got
Really
it,
good to
okay?
know.
I got the hint. Ay.
Sometimes the boat goes out of San Diego.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I have heard.
You know, or, you know, it gives you another excuse to come visit us in Florida.
That's true.
Oh,
That's
see, there
true.
you go. That's even better.
Aw, well, good to know. Well, let's jump back into Star Wars Day at Sea.
Okay.
Now, you were saying that Pablo Hidalgo was there. What exactly did he said he was doing a presentation on the encyclopedia?
On the Force Awakens visual dictionary.
On the visual dictionary, right. And did he have any kind of insight that we don't know yet?
He was very selective on what he would say.
Yeah.
That's the nicest word. He gave no spoilers.
Yeah, because people tried to ask him questions, and he was really good about staying away from any theories of things from the movie. His focus was really about, here is the book and how I had to lay it out, and I was doing it under such secrecy. A lot of the images he got were all the pixelated images, so he really didn't get a good view of what the characters were, but he had to write about them and come up with something to write, or he got to name some of them. One of the big things that he did announce is the reason Snoke is not in the dictionary is because they didn't get a final version of the image in enough time for the publisher. they had written stuff and wanted to include that character, but they couldn't because they didn't have a final image from ILM. So that was one little tidbit he shared about it. The Rathtars was another one where they had, in the actual image he showed on the screen, it was almost like an octopus or a squid in gray, because they didn't know what it actually was going to get, the final image, until right before the book was published. And it just basically fit into the space that they had allotted for it. Thank goodness.
Boy, they didn't even trust Pablo with this information.
Exactly.
Wow.
That says something.
Yeah. Let's take a quick break from the Chickavents Star Wars Day at Sea stories to hear about some other great podcasts.
Hey gang, the Brutal One here of HoloNet Audio Dramas, which is not only a podcast of quality narrated Star Wars fan fiction with music and sound effects, but also a charity project aimed at bringing the fun of Star Wars fan audio to blind fans and encouraging literacy. Be sure to check out the great audio fun at the HNAD network, consisting of HoloNet Audio Dramas, Dark Empire Radio, always a fun audio ride along the dark side, and DER Classic, featuring the best of the original Dark Empire Radio and outstanding retro discussions from the early days of DER. Check out all of the audio fun at the HNAD network at holonetaudiodramas.com.
Those were apes. Weren't they? What kind of planet is this?
Hey, ape fans. This is Richard.
And this is Mark.
Join us on our Planet of the Apes podcast, Talking Apes TV, where we take an in-depth look at the Apes TV series from 1974 and see why it still stands up after 40 years.
And we get to the hard-hitting questions like, how does Urko's top-heavy helmet stay on his head? Why doesn't Pete have a backstory? Or doesn't that kid grow up to be Freddy Krueger?
It's all lies. Apes have always ruled the world. Always!
You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and the Shot Glass Digital Network. Join us for an Urko-tastic time. And if you're a fan of the series, you'll know what that means.
They were right, Sayers. Maybe the world would be better if no creature controlled another, if all worked together as equals.
And now, back to Michael and Michelle and their Star Wars Day at Sea aboard the Disney Fantasy Cruise Ship. Now, they also had the Jedi Training Academy aboard the ship, right?
They did.
So, we got two questions here.
Sure, go ahead.
Did they allow adults to participate? And did the Seventh Sister show up? Because she sure isn't at Disneyland.
Well, the first question, no, adults are not allowed to participate because we.
Come on!
Darn it!
You would think with all of the adults there, they should have at least had one session for adults at the very minimum, but none. The Seventh Sister did show up, so that might be why she's not in Disneyland. She's on the cruise ships for another few cruises. So I apologize for Disneyland not getting her yet. But we did go in and check in on it just to see what it was like and talk to a couple of the cast members about it. I think the big hang up some of the parents were having for anyone who's thinking about doing this in the future or has a future cruise coming up is that the kids need to get there a half hour before the show and they select them randomly. There's no sign up. There's no getting a ticket. So a lot of people were showing up right before the show and like, oh, how do I get my kid into it? Or how can I sign up for the next show? And they're like, you just have to show up and we will randomly pick from the crowd. So that's a little disappointing if you really only had one or two chances for your child to go and be a part of it, and they don't get picked either time.
Was Jedi Training Academy just on the Star Wars Day?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that makes it harder.
Yeah, I've been having the worst luck at Disneyland because not only am I never the Rebel Spy, but I'd never get picked for the Jedi Training Academy.
We're never the Rebel Spy either, actually.
No.
Now that I think about it.
Oh.
Of course, I know I'm 40 years too old for the Jedi Training Academy.
But you did get to go up there with Matt.
I did, with Matt Cox last year at the Friends of the Magic meetup. That was the only way I was ever been able to get up there because I was escorting our friend Matt, who was blind, and they happened to pick him to join in the Jedi Academy.
And that was a great story when you shared it on the show, too. I'd love to hear that. I'm sure that adults finally got to be a part of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, after how many years?
I know.
Because after all the footage we've seen online, I've never seen any any adults under any circumstance up there doing the lightsaber training with Darth Vader and Darth Maul.
I think, weren't they supposed to do something last year for May the 4th? I think adults were supposed to be allowed, but...
I think you're right. I think at Walt Disney World.
Yeah, I think
in
though,
Florida.
It was a crowd.
But I don't think.
I bet.
I don't think it happened.
I don't know. We'd have to Google it. So
yeah.
How far do you live from Walt Disney World?
About an hour 15,
drive. Yeah.
Based on traffic. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's nothing.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
If you live in Los Angeles, if someone tells you something is an hour away, it's like, oh, please. That's easy. It's an easy drive.
Yeah.
Put on a podcast and we're already there.
There you go. Well, that's how we listen to your podcast.
Aww.
How many of these cruises have you guys been on?
This was our 5th.
Our 5th Disney cruise.
Yeah, we got bit by the bug about 2 years ago. Because again, like Michelle said, we were a little worried, but we wanted to give it a shot because we like Disney. And we've done some of their Adventures by Disney programs. So we thought, why not try the cruise line since we're in Florida and only an hour from Port Canaveral. Pretty easy drive. And so we did one and then signed up right from the next one and then the next one and the next one. And then once they announced the Star Wars Day at Sea, I think it took less than 24 hours after the announcement to decide, let's go ahead and do that one too.
That's like us in our Run Disney, the Star Wars Dark Side half announcement. Literally, it was like 20 minutes. It's like, yeah, we're going.
Where Sarah just says, hey, Reg, guess what we're doing in April?
That's right.
That's
okay,
awesome.
Sweetie, here's my credit card.
There you go. Well, Mike was like, we're going to run the Star Wars 5K. And I'm like, we're going to do what?
Are you guys going to be there in April?
Yes.
Yes, we're going to
For
be
the Dark Side Challenge? Oh, right on.
So, and then Trisha Barr is going to do. Yeah, Trisha Barr's doing the 5K too.
Okay, cool.
She's looking for people to cheer for the 10K and the half.
We could probably do
Oh,
that.
yeah, we can do
I'm not running
Well,
that.
Yeah. We are.
Oh, right on. So will you be there all weekend? Because we're planning a meetup there.
Yes, we made sure that we are not working that entire weekend.
Okay, good. Yay.
Oh,
Yay.
right on.
I know, I'm excited.
Get to hang out with a chicken fence again.
There you go.
Okay, well, back to the cruise. Now, you've been on many, many cruises. I know we get off on tangents, but that's okay.
I got it.
We get on. You guys have been on all these cruises. So how would the Star Wars Day cruise compare with those? Like, would you? How would you rate it? And would you want a full Star Wars cruise now?
Oh.
Disney is listening, so make it good.
I don't think I could do a full Star Wars cruise, and that's me personally. I mean,
next, Michael.
I will let Michelle complete her thought. Yes.
I think it could have run over a couple days. So one of the things we were talking about is right now it's just on the Fantasy and it's just on their Western loop, and it's only 8 cruises for right now. And I think it's a good test to see, can we do this? Would we be able to roll this out to, say, the Dream that does 3 and 4 day cruises? Or could we do this on a transatlantic, to be able to have this same experience? So I think a full day's good. I think it had a couple opportunities that they learned from the first experience. And that was everyone didn't get a chance for 2 character experiences. So we actually had 1 character experience on Wednesday, and then Thursday morning, that was our second experience. So we were able to go quickly to an experience. We had an appointment at like 10 o'clock in the morning. We got to see Boba Fett. He tried to step on a chicken, so I think that was a good learning experience from that. For me, I think 1 day is good.
I would think even for any Star Wars fan, unless it's a completely dedicated cruise that says everything is Star Wars and everyone on board knows that fact, then you might be able to get away with it for like a short period of time. Think of it like a celebration. Everyone needs that break to step away. But if you're on a cruise ship, you don't have that ability to break that often. And I think they would need to really plan that out and say, okay, this cruise is dedicated 100% all 3 days or 4 days. Because I don't know if 7 days would be too much for most people, because I don't know how many different activities they can come up with and character experiences and shows, and before they start repeating themselves and people would start going, oh, this is going to get a little boring after a while. Yes, Star Wars fans probably would find doing Star Wars crafts, the same craft 3 and 4 times over a week, boring. I do have that would probably happen. And the same thing, but with trivia and stuff, there's only so much you can probably do. So I think a single day, maybe 2-day would be a great experience, but they really have to sell it as in advance. This is a Star Wars cruise, because we had people on this cruise that were actually purchased the cruise and planned on it before it became a Star Wars cruise. Because a lot of people buy a cruise 2 or 3 years in advance, planning purposes. They announced dates in 2017. Some people have already put money down for those cruises. So if they come back and go, oh, well, that cruise is now a Star Wars cruise and the whole cruise is Star Wars, some people might not be happy with that because they didn't purchase it for that reason.
Right.
Okay. Well, that's interesting to know. Huh.
Now, if you had filled out a comment card asking for suggestions for next time for Star Wars Day at Sea, what would be your comments? What could they do better next time?
One of the big things for us is, even though we talked about crafts that they do throughout the day, it's one of those activities, since you're out at sea, they need to find stuff to do. The crafts were only in the kids areas. And so the adults didn't get to participate in those. And they had Michelle went to an origami session, and we know there's books on Star Wars origami. So we thought, that would be fun. She goes, and it's just...
There were hearts.
There's a heart, making a heart.
Oh.
I left. But then we saw kids, and in the kids, what's awesome about these cruises, there's a kids area. So parents can honestly let their kids in the kids area. Sometimes they don't want to leave. They made the best crafts. We saw tubes that were lightsabers. We saw paper plates with cups on them that were Millennium Falcons. I saw popsicle sticks that were made into a TIE fighter. The best one I saw was, on your billboards in school, they have the little banners that go around the end. They made those as a band, and they made little puffs. So the little girl had little buns. I would be wearing those if we could make them. So my thing is, I would like to have some crafts that the general population would be able to sit down and do Star Wars crafts. I think that would be fun.
Oh, yeah. Michael, how about you?
The other thing is they need to be careful with the word Star Wars celebrity. That is used very loosely on these cruises right now. Because we know who Pablo Hidalgo is.
Yes.
Quite a few Star Wars fans who call themselves fans, and we all have different levels of fandom, who did not know who he was. So they're like, well, why would we want to go hear from him? He's not in the movies. He's not, doesn't do any special effects. So I think that was a little bit of a challenge. And even on the first cruise, they had a Disney Imagineer that talked about Star Tours and the seasons of the Force. But again, is that really a Star Wars celebrity? That could be questionable. And the other thing for me is we had actually saw Pablo on day one while we were having lunch, and I just went up and introduced myself because I was looking for that right moment, because I know he was on vacation as well, and just introduced myself, but I didn't want to do a photo or anything like that, because supposedly you're going to get autographs and photos after the celebrity session. Pablo didn't do that after the session. So we never got a chance to actually sit down and get a picture with him or anything like that. I mean, it was a great presentation. I was glad to hear from him. But, again, that was a little thing that we've actually sent in as a comment, that you got to be careful when you say celebrity. A lot of people were expecting, even if it's voice talent or...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, big
That's
time.
what I would assume, voice talent.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we were kind of hoping for. When this was originally announced, it said celebrities telling their experiences, a chance for autographs. There was supposed to be some special items in the adult areas, and some of those didn't happen. And I get it. Things are subject to change. That happens. But we were like, wouldn't it be awesome if the Rebels cast was on,
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I could get a picture with Freddie Prinze Jr. and this chicken, photo we don't have. So, yeah, I would say celebrities would be,
So they didn't deliver on all their promises then.
Well, that, and like Michelle just mentioned, the other thing they didn't deliver on that they really sold for the adult areas is that at night it was going to be a cantina with
That's right.
with interactions with aliens and things like that, and specialty drinks. That didn't happen. There was no cantina.
No.
There was
refund.
There was no extra characters down there for interactions, and they didn't have any specialty drinks except for what they were calling the drink of the day, which they do every day. There's a special alcohol and non-alcoholic drink of the day. It was called Planetary Punch or something.
Oh, it was Galaxy in a Glass was the adult
Yeah,
drink, and then Planetoid Punch was the non-adult drink.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, that would be the feedback we gave. I mean, but it was still fun for kids. So DJ Elliott was on board.
Oh,
So
nice.
He was helping to get the crowd ready before the little final celebration event. Summon the Force, thank you. And then the fireworks. And then he had a dance party after. So there's probably a lot of good photos of the dance party. We actually went to the adult area to play trivia afterwards. So it's like, we like trivia. But I mean, overall, it was really good. I think it's a good experience. You've got to like cruising because it is in the middle of the cruise. But I think people were really excited. Some awesome costumes. We saw some 501st in their costumes.
A lot of young Reys and Kylo Rens.
Yes,
So
yes.
that was
Like little 4-year-olds dressed as Kylo Ren. You just want to pinch their cheeks. They're like, look at what these things are. But yeah, I think parents really like took it to heart to make sure families were dressed up, which was really cool. But I think that would be the big one is like, you know, you got to figure out what the right
wording is.
Yeah,
and
that's
how
probably
you
the
sell
best
it.
words for it, yeah.
So now, if you were a school teacher, how would you grade this from an A to an F?
Wow.
Just the Star Wars Day.
Oh, just the Star Wars Day? I would give it a good solid B. I mean, it's really well done. There's areas for improvement, with no doubt, but it's not perfect yet. It's definitely not perfect. Even for dedicated Star Wars fans, you're going to find some areas that could have been better.
Okay, it's kind of like we gave Seasons of the Force.
Yeah.
It's like it's a good attempt. What they did well.
Yeah, it's
But,
a
like-
good inaugural effort.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And they were doing a good job of things. So like, for example, like we had an inside state cabin. And so you have what's called the magical portal. And on Star Wars Day, it was all Star Wars stuff on the portal. So like I was stalking the portal at times. I had to charge my phone. So I ran down to the room and was charging it. And I had the portal on. And every time something would pop on, like pulling the phone out and like trying to grab a photo or grab a video. And then at 6:00 at night, the screen actually had a lightsaber that went around the screen and turned it black, like this, the sky or the
It turned dark.
Right. And then the Death Star was in the back. And
Whoa.
so that was kind of cool. Those were those little experiences that, because you had an inside stateroom, you got to see that, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
yeah.
Now, Chickafant being 13, how did he enjoy the overall experience?
I think he enjoyed it a lot because from the beginning, we kind of had some extra special experiences. So during the cruise, it was Michael's birthday. So one of the things that you can get, which is on the Disney cruise, is you can have like a celebration package in your room. So they actually have a Star Wars celebration package. So there were items hanging from the ceiling. There was an awesome big magnet for the door. There was a picture frame. There was some stick-on thing for the window. For the mirror, thank you, for the mirror. So that was kind of cool. So you walk in and the room's all decorated, which is really cool. Not everybody has that because, you know, that's one of those extra add-ons that you can get. But he got his photo with a lot of food. They had specialty food for that day. Because as you know, Chickafant likes to eat. So there was all kinds of specialty Star Wars food. Dinner was a special Star Wars dinner. The menu was beautiful. It was like a lenticular menu. Like we were like, can we have one? No, you can't take the menu.
Oh.
And then all the desserts were Star Wars based. And then after the fireworks, they actually had a Star Wars buffet. Where normally they have pirate night and then there's a pirate buffet. So because it was the Star Wars Day at Sea, that's where your fireworks were. And you had a Star Wars buffet. So there was lots of extra food and like almost like Star Wars specialties, kind of like stuff that you would see at the parks, like the pork on the little brown bun.
Yeah, it's like the dark sliders now.
Yeah,
that they have.
Dark side sliders.
Yeah,
And stuff.
those. And all kinds of desserts with Star Wars images on them, which was really cool. We were stuffed because we had late dinner, but I did take a lot of photos.
Okay.
Now, if you don't mind me asking, what does something like this cost for a couple?
Okay. Well, we booked early. So Disney cruises are a premium. They're a little more expensive than your average cruise, but again, you pay for what you receive, and we enjoy Disney cruises. Because we booked so far in advance, we probably got a better rate. But I want to say the probably average rate for two. Close.
What? How much was this one?
Ours was $2,500 for 7 days.
Wow. For
Oh,
okay,
that's not-
combined?
7 days combined, so total, right?
That's not bad. And
Less
And
than
again,
I thought it would be.
we booked really early.
Okay.
However, the price of the cruise had gone up, so I want to say it probably went up an extra $1,500.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you were to buy this ticket for the same room we had, which is the very basic room, it was about $4,000 on
For a
December. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what does booking early mean? Like how many months in advance?
How many years in advance?
Honestly, most people that do Disney cruises, they try to book the day the cruise dates are announced.
Wow.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So, like, for example, if they're going to put out probably the second half of 2017 here soon, people will dial in the next day. They'll call in and book their cruise and put their funds down for it.
Wow.
And all the food and drinks and everything, that's all inclusive.
Yes, except for your adult beverages. So if you're getting drinks from the bar, those are extra. But your soda at the soda fountain, your lunch, your breakfast. I'm kind of a coffee junkie, so they do have a coffee shop that's a little bit extra. But we kind of look at it as, well, if you're on vacation, you buy coffee anyway. So, but there is coffee if you prefer that. But yeah, all your meals are included, and there's food all the time. I'm like,
Yeah, that's the dangerous part.
That's what scares me.
There's food all the time.
So, Sarah, when we go, we're going to walk into the gift shop and say, hey, we thought everything was inclusive, so we're just going to take one of everything.
Yeah. Your items were not. Your specialty Star Wars items were not included, but those were extra, but that's okay. I will say for that's something good to talk about. They did offer for the folks on the cruise the chance to pre-purchase your items so they would be available. So we got a reservation list. They had certain items available. So there was like a special pin that's only available for that cruise. The name tags. So we pre-ordered quite a bit of merchandise that Michael wanted. So like a cup, t-shirts, magnets, pins, a lanyard, a hat. So that was kind of not within our budget for the cruise, which was kind of cool. So that was kind of like paid for ahead of time. They had it in a special area. You went down, they went through it with you to make sure your stuff was there. So you didn't have to like go try to rush into a store, kind of like the Celebration store when you're like trying to rush in and get stuff. They did still have all the same items out. So if you needed something, so like I decided I wanted to get a Star Wars Day at Sea t-shirt because it was pretty unique. We didn't pre-order one. I went in, they didn't have my size, but they went and checked and then called our stateroom and said, your size is available. Come and pick it up. So that was awesome customer service. But yeah, they had quite a bit of Star Wars at Sea merchandise that's only available like at sea.
Wow.
What other Star Wars at Sea merchandise did they have?
The logos are going to be probably the main thing that's going to be unique. So you'd have it, like she said, on t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, all of this typical stuff that you would get at a Disney event that they try to do. They had a Christmas ornament, a couple different like magnets,
a Turvis mug, Dooney and Burke purses. They had a special Dooney and Burke bag that was available. I did not purchase that though. So what else? A lot of it's your same stuff that you would get at Star Wars weekends: t-shirts, mugs, hats, Christmas ornaments, but it's exclusive. You can't. So the people that got on the boat after us, all that would have been taken down.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, all that's taken down. And then the next cruise, they put it all right back up. So you can only get it. Now, there is Disney Star Wars Cruise Line merchandise that's available on all the boats. And it has a really cool logo of the boat and then like ships flying by. And that's available all the time. So if you were to go on a 3-day cruise, you'd be able to pick those up. Right. But to truly get the Star Wars Day at Sea merchandise, you had to get it on the boat during that cruise. Yeah, which is kind of cool. And like the name tags, like we had pre-ordered name tags, and then Michael's like, well, why don't we pick some up for some of our friends? And I'm like, you get them? And we walked in and put your order in, and they're like, they'll be available tomorrow after 6. And we're like, yay.
Aww.
Well, we love ours. Thank you very much once again.
You're very welcome.
You're very welcome.
Now, if any of these Skywalkers out there want to get a hold of you and find out more information on this, on your cruise, or just to say, hey.
Or see your Chickafant pictures.
Yeah, or find out more about Chickafant. How can they find you on social media?
Let's see. We're on Facebook as Chickafant, 2 words, because you have to have a first and last name. We're on Instagram at Chickafant, 1 word. And we're on Twitter at Chickafant. So I'll spell it for people that are right now trying to figure out how to spell it. It's a Chickapant.
All right.
Nice.
And do you want to give the backstory about where that name came from? I got the biggest kick out of that.
You can give
being a 70s junkie and all.
I know.
Well, both Michelle and I are big fans of the Croft Superstars and those type of shows, Sid and Marty Croft. And one of the ones I really enjoyed was The Lost Saucer.
Out of the sky, out of time, coming to see all that they can find. Where to go.
And there was an episode where they actually landed on a planet of the Chickafans, and they actually meet up with a creature that is half chicken, half elephant. And if you can imagine Sid and Marty Croft, what that actually looks like, an actual creature that's half chicken and half elephant. And it actually has a baby called an Eleflickin. So when we adopted our spotted chicken, we were trying to find a name, and we felt Chickafant was easier for people to remember than Eleflickin. So Chick got his name from Sid and Marty Croft.
And when you told me that at Star Wars Celebration, I was so mad at myself for not catching that earlier. I love Lost Saucer, and I can't believe I missed that.
You have so much trivia in your head, Richard. It's okay. Can't keep it all. Sorry.
Yeah, but when you weren't looking, I turned around and went, oh, so close, so close. Why didn't I get that?
The best is when you have someone, like if you Google Chickafant and you can see a photo of it. Oh, that thing's scary looking. But it's cool. So it's very 70s claymation is a nice way to put it.
Wow.
Is that what your Chickafant is going to grow up looking like?
God, no.
We don't know. Let's hope not.
He's going to need some plastic surgery here in the future with all his travels, but that's okay.
Well, he's looking great, and we always love seeing your photos with the Chickafant right in the foreground.
Yep, and just don't leave him too close to Darth Magnus.
No.
We will do our best. Thank you.
All right, Chickafant family. Well, thank you once again for sharing all your stories. That was a lot of fun, and Sarah and I were deeply, deeply jealous.
Well, you were there in spirit, all the Skywalkers. We wanted to make sure everyone was there with us as much as possible.
I think it's because we have some pictures we'll have to let them see of, I think I was wearing a Skywalking Through Neverland shirt most of the day on Star Wars Day at Sea.
Ooh.
Yeah, you might see some future photos if you follow Chickafant, yes.
Yeah, possibly a Team Hujib.
Oh, yay. There you go, representing out at sea.
Okay. We tried.
Where did you go on your cruise?
For this cruise, it left Port Canaveral. It does a day at sea, Cozumel, Grand Cayman, and then your next day at sea is Star Wars Day at Sea. And then you take another day at sea that brings you around to Castaway Cay, which is Disney's private island. And so we were very lucky, very, very lucky to actually, the boat was able to get in. It took 3 tries to get in because the seas were really rough. The wind was really rough. The cruise 2 weeks prior, they weren't able to park the boat. The week prior, also, they weren't able to. We got in. We only got on the island for about 4 hours, but it was worth it. Right. And then the cruise that's happening right now, actually, they weren't able to get off to dock. That's the word I was looking for. To dock at Castaway Cay. So we were really lucky because one of the things you can do in Castaway Cay, since it's Disney's private island, is they do a 5K. And so I was like, hey, we need to run because we're going to be running in the Star Wars marathon. So we actually ran the boat instead. And so we ran the boat to do a 5K, and I got my Castaway Cay 5K medal. I was so happy. I was excited. I was like, I did it.
It's our first medal.
It was our first 5K.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, thank you for representing Skywalking Through Neverland out there. Much appreciated. So let us know when you take your next cruise, because we'd love to hear about those stories, and you can make us even more jealous.
Oh.
We'll definitely keep you posted. Thank you again for having us on the show.
Before we wrap up our Valentine episode, I want to remind everyone about sending in your choices for the upcoming all-time awards.
Now, once again, you only have a couple of days, so don't procrastinate.
That's right. Go to our Facebook page, Skywalking Through Neverland. Look at that pinned post and put in your nominations for all the categories, or even just a couple categories if you only have a few minutes. So we want to know what your favorite all-time movie and TV shows are, your best bromance, your best, what have we had? Best kiss.
Best battle.
Yeah.
Best villain with the worst temper.
I know. We had some fun categories, so we want you guys to have fun with it.
Now send it in by Monday, this coming Monday in a few days, February the 15th.
That's right. All right. Well, Richard, our Valentine episode is almost over.
Almost. Just got a couple of housekeeping things to take care of.
That's true. We want to thank Dave Tavers of mousemingle.com. We also want to thank Michael and Michelle and Chickafent for their great stories about Star Wars Day at Sea. I have to say Chickafent that way.
And of course, Rob Dellinger for composing all the great jingles heard on each and every episode of
Skywalking through Neverland. Okay, well, we have our BB-8 t-shirt designs available at TeePublic, plus our Skywalking Through Neverland designs. We even have our Skywalker of the Week
Which
design.
is proving to be very, very popular.
Oh, yeah. Each week we get someone ordering a Skywalker of the Week. Huh, wonder how that happens.
Funny how that works out.
That's right. So, all right. Well, and also, of course, you can go to skywalkingthroughneverland.com and click on the Support You tab to find Her Universe. So if you need something from Her Universe for perhaps that woman in your life for Valentine's Day.
Nice plug.
I know. You can head there first, and that would be great if you could click through that link to buy from Her Universe.
The more we get from those sites, the more we can give away for prizes.
We're doing lots of prize giveaways this year. All right, social media. The conversation continues every day, 24/7. On Twitter, we are at SkywalkingPod. Also, on Periscope, we are at SkywalkingPod. And on Facebook, Skywalking Through Neverland.
Vote now. Vote now.
Vote now, yes. And please email us, share@skywalkingthroughneverland.com if you have something longer you'd like to say to us. All right, everyone. Well, I hope we have a good Valentine's Day. You have some fun things planned?
Yes. We're going to go see The Force Awakens.
Yes.
In 4D, I hope.
Yes, and we're not going to eat chocolate. We're just going to watch the movie. That'll be fun.
Now, this won't be the first Star Wars movie I see on Valentine's Day because...
What?
Back in 97...
What?
Star Wars, the special edition was out.
Uh-huh.
I didn't see it with a date.
Are you sure? Your face doesn't say that you're sure. I'm not sure what your face is
Now,
saying.
this will be the first time I ever see a Star Wars movie with a sweetie.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, my very first Valentine's Day was with you.
My best Valentine's days are always with you. The other ones were just rehearsal Valentines.
That's okay. You had 12 years on me.
Best Valentine's with you ever.
I know. Oh. Okay. Well, Skywalkers, that's it for episode, what is this, 110?
110.
Oh my goodness. That's it for episode 110. And we love you all. And happy Valentine's Day. And always remember...
NeverLand on Alderaan.
Some imagination, huh?
Now, in honor of award season...
You're going to cough. All right. Well, speaking of blog posts... After hearing our classic Marvel Star Wars... Yeah. So he wrote a blog post...
NeverLand on Alderaan.